Hello, everybody. My name is Mr. Oski, and I'm the Library Media Instructional Technology Specialist in the West De Pere School District. Today we have our December 4th grade book talk on air, and we have two classrooms joining us in the district from Hemlock Creek and Westwood. We'll head over to Westwood first and say hello to Miss Hawkinson's 4th grade class at Westwood Elementary. Can you guys wave and say hello? Thanks for joining us. We're going to head over to Hemlock Creek Elementary where we have Mr. Janquart's class of 4th graders, so everybody can say hi from there too. We also want to welcome all the other 4th grade classes that are watching today. Hopefully you can join us in the next few months and participate. So this week in library, I don't know if you've had library quite yet, but we are focusing on realistic fiction books. And realistic fiction happens to be my very favorite genre of books, because they are like real life stories of things that could actually happen. So I wanted to share a book with you that I read recently that I really loved, and it is by the author Suzanne LaFleur. Has anybody heard of her before? Not so much? Okay. We have a few Suzanne LaFleur books, but this one was called Love, Aubrey, and it's kind of a sappy book, but it's about a girl that loses her dad and sister in a car accident, and then her mom kind of like flips out after this happens and just does not come home. And she's living by herself, trying to survive by herself, hoping that nobody will catch on to the fact that she's basically doesn't have any parents anymore, because she doesn't want to tell anybody and she doesn't want to go anywhere and be taken away from her house. So eventually her grandma figures it out and intervenes, and she has to go then live with her grandma at her house. So it's a story about just this devastating story about how she loses her family but then is kind of reborn with her grandmother and her house. And you'll have to read more if you want to see if the mom ever comes back into the picture. So again, this is called Love, Aubrey. One of my new favorites in the realistic fiction genre, and I really think you'd like it if you love realistic fiction. We're going to head over to Olivia at Westwood, and she's going to be sharing a book with us. Hi, Olivia.
Hi.
All right, which book do you have, and who's the author?
My book is Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Lightning Thief. This book, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Lightning Thief, is about a 12-year-old boy, Perseus Jackson. He's the son of one of the big three ancient Greek gods, the sea god, Poseidon. Suddenly, Zeus's master boat goes missing, and Percy is framed for it. At Camp Half-Blood, the summer camp that Poseidon wanted his son to go to, but in some cases is a boarding school, he is offered a quest to go to the underworld and get the boat back from Hades. Did Hades steal it? Will he take the quest and bring two friends along? And most of all, will he succeed? Again, this is Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Lightning Thief.
You know who loves Percy Jackson, I think, is Dr. Lau, isn't it? Dr. Lau, aren't you a big fan?
I like him very much.
Yeah. So would this, Olivia, would this fit into the realistic fiction genre?
Probably not.
No, not so much. Awesome. Go ahead.
Because it's Greek gods.
Right, right. Raise your hand if you've read any of the Percy Jackson books. Oh, lots of people. Good. Thank you so much for sharing, Olivia. I bet you piqued some interest there. Let's give her a round of applause. Nice job. All right, we're going to head to Hemlock Creek where we have Katie that is ready to share. Come on up. All right, let us know the book title and author.
It's I Survived Hurricane Katrina 2005, and it's by Lauren Tarish.
Okay, tell us about the book.
Okay, Mary's family tries to evacuate before the hurricane Katrina hits their home in the lower Ninth Ward of New Orleans. But when Barry's little sister gets terribly sick, they're forced to stay and wait out the storm. At first, Katrina doesn't seem to be as severe storm as forecasters predicted, but overnight the leaves break and Barry's world is literally torn apart. He is swept away by the floodwaters, away from his family. Can he survive in the storm of the century alone?
Yeah. Who has anybody been in a hurricane besides me? Anybody in Miss Oh, we have a couple. You've been in a hurricane. Couple of us. I'm curious to where they were. Miss Hawkinson, can you unmute? Where were you guys in a hurricane?
At a water park?
No, that doesn't count.
I went to a hurricane. Also a tornado.
It can't be
We have one.
What was that? Mr. Janquart, you do?
We have one. Nico said he was in one in Florida.
Oh, yeah. There was one year in Florida when I lived in Daytona Beach that we missed 14 days of school because there were 3 hurricanes in a row. It was pretty crazy. And the worst one that I was in was a Category 1, which is the smallest kind of hurricane, and Katrina was a Category 4, correct, Katie? Was it 3 or 4? Do you remember?
No.
I think it was a 4, so it was pretty bad. It's crazy to think that you got. What year were you guys born?
2005.
Yeah. It's crazy for me to think that you were just being born at the time that Hurricane Katrina was happening. But anyway, let's give Katie a round of applause. That sounds awesome. I really want to read that one. Very cool. All right, we're going to head back to Westwood. We have Noah ready to go. Go ahead, Noah. What's your book and author?
My book is 39 Clues, Maze of Bones by Rick Riordan. This book is about these 2 kids that gave up $1 million for a clue. There are 2 other teams against the history of their family, the Kale family. Will Amy and Dan Kale protect their family's history? If you like mystery and a little adventure, you will like this book and other books by this author, and this is a big series of books.
Yeah, raise your hand if you've read a 39 Clues book. That's a really popular series in the library. Awesome. Thanks for sharing the Maze of Clues with us, and he's a great author too, isn't he?
Yep.
Awesome. Let's give Noah a round of applause. Good job, buddy. All right, we're headed back to Mr. Janquart's for Peyton. Come on up, Peyton. What book do you... Oh, it's Peyton, the zombie goldfish Peyton. I bet we all recognize her, right? Yeah. All right, Miss Peyton, who is the author, and what's the title of your book you're going to share?
My book is Timmy Failure, Mistakes Were Made, and it is by Stephen Pastis. And Timmy Failure and his polar bear are on an adventure, and it talks about his problems and life lessons. Timmy, and he's a detective. In one part, Karina steals his Segway, and Timmy fights to get it back. And when they went to the zoo, Toto gets stolen, and they don't know if he's going to come back.
Oh, so have you read the other Timmy Failure books, or is this your first one?
This is my first one.
Do you think you're going to read the others? Did you like it a lot?
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Peyton. Let's give her a round of applause. Good job.
She forgot her book, so we
Oh, that's
copied
okay.
it.
Perfect, perfect. Did we talk about that one in Book Talks last month? Is that 4th
We
grade?
did.
I thought so. Awesome. Let's head back to Miss Hawkinson's class. We have Erin. Erin, you want to share your book with us?
Sure.
Go ahead. Go.
My book is A Love on Birthdays by Lindy Mass. The book is about a girl named Amanda and a boy named Leo. They always have their birthdays together, or what they thought. When they turned 10, Leo's friend said, why are you having your birthday with a girl? That's lame. Leo said, I'm only doing it because my mom wants me to. When Amanda turned 11, she wished that she never walked by Lou's when he said he did not want to have his birthday with the girl. When she wished it, all of the days were the same. They kept repeating when she made the wish. Her birthday kept repeating. When the days come back to normal, and go on with their lives. The book is a little bit of fantasy. This is a series. Yeah.
All right. You said that was 11 Birthdays, right, by Wendy Moss?
Yeah.
Yeah, who's doing Battle of the Books? Raise your hand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, look at all those Battle of the Books teams. So that's one of our battle books, isn't it?
Yeah.
So lots of us have read that one. Awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Wendy Moss is a very good author, and she also writes a lot of realistic fiction if you're interested in that genre. Very good. All right, let's give Erin a round of applause, and we'll head over to Ella. Good job. All right, Miss Ella, save the best for last. Or is that Dr. Lau? I'm not sure. Go ahead, share your book with us, the author and title.
Okay. My book is Empire Pickletine Rides the Bus by Tom Engelbert. And in this book, some kids take a field trip to a place that's not smelly and old. This is a real field trip. The principal went from evil to nice, and the kids ended up going on a nice field trip. I would recommend this book to another student because it's not too hard to read and it is funny. And if I could ask the author any question, I would ask, who makes the origami, or is it just Photoshop?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Show the book.
Yeah, can you share the title one more time?
Empire Pickletine Rides the Bus.
Empire Pickletine Rides the Bus.
Pickletine Rides the Bus.
I'm going to have to check and make sure we have that one in the library. I'm not so sure we have that one. Do you know?
Origami Yoda book. Nice.
That's interesting. I've never heard of that. Has anybody at Westwood read that one before? Oh, look at that. Huh. It's more popular. Somebody's holding it up over there. My goodness, that's pretty cool. All right, let's give Ella a round of applause. Good job. All right, we have one more book today, and it's going to be read by Dr. Lau, the principal at Westwood. He wants to share a book with you guys today, so I'll let him.
Hey, Emily, how you doing? Mr. Janquart, how's your class today?
There we go.
Must be okay. Good. I'm always excited to be able to sit down and spend some time with the students at Hemlock and at Westwood. And Ms. Zarowski, I don't have a realistic nonfiction. I just picked a book off my shelves in my office.
That's okay.
You want me to read it, or you want me to talk about it?
It's up to you. If you want to read it, you can read it.
Well, I'll let the students decide. You want me to read it, or you want me to...
See?
Mr. Janquart, do your kids want me to read it? All right, that's the right answer. This is why kids go to school in West Superior. They know the answers. So my book is, What Do You Do with an Idea? And the author is Kobe Yamada, and it's illustrated by Mae Beeson. So it's a cool book. I'm glad you guys are reading some chapter books, but I also want you to remember it's always good to go back to the picture books and just kind of fun books to read because they sometimes have a great message. Like this one, it says, one day I had an idea. Where did it come from? Why was it here, I wondered. What do you do with an idea? I often think about that. At first, I didn't think much of it. It seemed kind of strange and fragile. I didn't know what to do with it, so I just walked away from it. I acted like it didn't belong to me. You see the ideas right here. I don't know if you guys can see that on the screen, but it looks like a little yellow egg. But it followed me. I worried what others would think. What would people say about my idea? I kept it to myself. I hid it away and I didn't talk about it. I tried to act like everything was the same as it was before my idea showed up. Wonder how many of you have done that, had an idea, maybe you haven't shared it with somebody. But there was something magical about my idea. I had to admit, I felt better and happier when it was around. It wanted food. It wanted to play. Actually, it wanted a lot of attention. That's kind of weird, an idea that would want a lot of attention. It grew bigger, and we became friends. I showed it to other people even though I was afraid of what they would say. I was afraid that if people saw it, they would laugh at it. I was afraid they would think it was silly. And many of them did. They said it was no good. They said it was too weird. They said it was a waste of time and that it would never become anything. Has that ever happened to you? It's happened to me. And at first, I believed them. I actually thought about giving up on my idea. I almost listened to them. But then I realized, what do they really know? This is my idea, I thought. No one knows it like I do, and it's okay if it's different and weird and maybe a little crazy. I decided to protect it, to care for it. I fed it good food. I worked with it. I played with it. But most of all, I gave it my attention. Idea is getting bigger and bigger. My idea grew and grew, and so did my love of it. I built it a new house, one with an open roof, where it could look up at the stars, a place where it could be safe to dream. I liked being with my idea. It made me feel more alive, like I could do anything. It encouraged me to think big, and then to think bigger. It shared its secrets with me. It showed me how to walk on my hands, because it said, it is good to have the ability to see things differently. I couldn't imagine my life without it. Then one day, something amazing happened. My idea changed right before my very eyes. It spread its wings, took flight, and burst into the sky. I don't know how to describe it, but it went from being here to being everywhere. It wasn't just a part of me anymore. It was now a part of everything. Oops, sorry. And then I realized what you do with an idea. You change the world. And that's what you can do with an idea, is you can change the world. So at Hemlock and at Westwood, I hope you guys, if you have ideas, you let them grow and you feed them and you nourish them, let them get good and big, and let them change the world. Thanks, Mr. Oski.
You're welcome. Let's give Dr. Lau a round of applause. That was an awesome book to share, especially around the holidays. All right, we are finished with our December book talk for 4th grade. We're hoping that the other 4th grade classes can join us in the months to come. Ms. Hawkinson's class and Mr. Janquart's class, I was super impressed with you guys today. You did an awesome job, and we hope that you can tune in next month as well. Have a great day, everybody. See you later.